Okay, so as an atheist and a lucid dreamer, I'm kind of at an odd intersection because I also find myself as a proponent of the positive mental health benefits that lucid dreaming can provide. Now, this opinion is because of my own personal experiences and exploration, which is anecdotal, and certainly this is a highly controversial claim. I would say especially so because of the kind of person that I am, not being into the woo-woo metaphysical stuff. And so, my opinion on this means that I think there's actually a rational, functional way that we could use our lucid dreams to probe and prod consciousness from within to improve our well being. What makes this topic so difficult and controversial at its core is that when you lucid dream, you're essentially taking a number from something like the bag of all possible experience. And so, naturally, we all come out of it with something different. So you could reach into the bag of all possible experience once every day for 1,000 years, and each time you pull something out, it would be a different experience. So the unpredictable nature of dreams and the inherent randomosity within them is a huge factor for the discussion of lucid dreams and mental health and well-being. So there's a mixture of nonsense, subconscious expression, wild imagination, and creativity which are outside of our control in dreams and often in lucid dreams. This makes it difficult to know what to latch onto in dreams, but even still, the bag of all possible experience does include those of actual meaning, profundity, and true personal insight. Now, even that statement is fairly controversial because this is the bag of all possible experience. Although the experiences of true meaning and insight are possible, so too are the mere feelings of meaning and insight, completely divorced from anything true. You can, and I would say most often you do, get lucid dream experiences where you have the feelings of meaning and profundity without actually learning anything that maps onto reality. You can feel like you have truly learned something about yourself, only to wake up and realize that the statement that held meaning in the dream actually doesn't make any sense. So since you can experience the feelings of meaning without actually discovering something meaningful in lucid dreams, it makes the discussion even more difficult to discuss with any amount of reason. My position, which is really a risky one to hold, is that I believe we can separate the wheat from the chaff and truly navigate through these possible experiences to not only pull out facsimiles of the experiences we want to have, but to actually have moments in our lucid dreams that actually do reveal something true about who we are. That is to say, to pull the number we wanted out of the bag of all possible experience. Now, I think the secret to this lies in the approach, and I firmly believe that mindfulness has a lot to do with it. And when I talk about mindfulness in lucid dreams, much of what I mean has to do with the same mundane mindfulness that we use whilst awake. The realizations we make of ourselves in lucid dreams, while being mindful, will be the most accurate and applicable to improving our lives. Of course, that's not to say that this is the only way of seeking meaning within lucid dreams. There are definitely methods we can use to poke and prod the mind from within and learn something about ourselves as a matter of what happens within the dream. It's just much more difficult to achieve and rare even for those who know what they're doing. It's doubly difficult to determine if you should believe what the dream tells you in its content because dreams so often lie and are full of randomosity that people mistake for symbols. I would say you can certainly invest some time into that as a lucid dreamer. It's fun to try and you can sometimes pull good things out of the experiences over a long lucid dreaming career over many lucid dreams and many attempts. But I definitely think it's more valuable to be mindful within our lucid dreams and, along the way, act appropriately to what the dream presents, and your actions can steer the content closer to the experiences you would like to have, rather than trying to invoke these meaningful experiences out of thin air. Be mindful and look first into your own first-hand experience of the dream. This is where you learn the most about yourself. When the dream presents an opportunity for something more substantial in its content, then is the best time to pay some more attention to the contents of the dream in addition to the contents of consciousness. It's much better to let the lucid dreams express meaning in their content unprovoked, because if you go looking for it, you will absolutely find patterns that aren't there. You will create more insights around meaningless dream imagery than you will actually find things that reveal something about who you are. Reading meaning into the symbology of dreams, even lucid dreams, is risky and always comes at the cost of coherency. When dreams express something true about who we are, it will map onto reality, so there is no need for interpretation or analysis to begin with, and it's my opinion that these only muddy the waters anyway. It's much less reliable to ask your dream for answers than it is to simply be mindful of yourself in your lucid dreams and observe your internal reactions to what is going on. How you react inside and how you subsequently act in the lucid dream says more about you than the dream imagery ever could. I talk about this subject a lot in my book, Beyond Lucid Dreaming, The Conscious Dreamer's Guide. I call these two approaches self-inquiry and self-exploration. Self-inquiry has to do with mindfulness in lucid dreams, while self-exploration deals with attempts at getting meaning from the content of dreams. When using self-exploratory methods, which most other lucid dreamers suggest, the chaff to wheat ratio is the highest. It's nearly impossible to decide what we can believe from our dream experiences. Self-inquiry, as I describe in my book, completely sidesteps this problem because it relies only on the dreamer's ability to accurately observe their mental state. To some extent, this is what lucidity is. So my advice for getting meaning, profundity, and insights out of your lucid dreams is to focus on self-inquiry while reserving self-exploration for when the dream is especially revelatory anyway. This way we can maximize what we get out of our lucid dreams without putting ourselves into the situation of possibly believing a fiction about ourselves just because a dream told us. To learn more about this subject, and especially about my self-inquiry approach, please consider picking up my book, The New Frontiers of Lucid Dreaming, Techniques and Perspectives for Experienced Practitioners, available on Amazon.